YCS. I'm here at Team Symmetry, here with Kiko25X, and we are here with...
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy ProWinston here. As most of y'all know, I did get my hair cut designed for the deck that I did play. I'm sorry that I'm looking at two cameras right now, so my eyes might not be on one. I did play YCS this weekend, just YCS, not the Fire Kings, because it was too hard for me to bring out big old turkey. Alright, so let me just show you the deck that I played. I did not do so well only because I was running up against these rogue decks that I was not prepared for. Like Shooting Stardust Dragon or Shooting Quasar, yeah. And whatever that deck does or was, I didn't even know that deck was still in existence. And I played against Chainburn. That gave me 2 early losses. And my first run I lost him to time in the mirror match. So I was very unfortunate, but most of the pro players did play a similar build than I, and we all worked together on most of it. But without no further ado, let's get to the deck. I played 2 Rescue Rabbits, 2 Tangles, 2 Dragons, 3 Bears, 3 Jeans, 2 Gorillas. That's the monsters. 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Monster Reborn, 2 Fire Formation Tinsels, 2 Space Typhoons, 2 Forbidden Lances, 2 Pot of Dualities, and 3 Tinkies. 1 Compose, 1 Force, 1 Starlight Road, 2 Deep Prisons, 2 Bottomless Trapos, 2 Solemn Warnings, 3 Tinsons, and a card that I disagree with, but you have to play it in this deck, is Solemn Judgment. The extra deck goes as follows: 2 Tiger Kings, 2 Abyss Dwellers for the water matchup mostly, 1 Utopia, 1 Ship of Corn, 1 Kuachi Dragon, or whatever you say the name.
Kochi.
That guy. I hate this card's name. I hate this card's name.
So?
But the card is good, so I call it Butterfly.
We call it Pappy.
1 Diamond Direwolf, 1 Lightning Chidori, one of my favorite cards in this deck actually. 1 Roach, 1 Maystroke, 1 Gagaga Cowboy, 1 Shockmaster, and Greg Abbey Stardust. The side deck goes as follows: 2 Spear Reapers, 2 Effect Veilers, 2 Dimensional Fissures, 1 Mind Control, 2 Rivalry of the Warlords, 1 Gozen Match, 1 Torrential, 2 Threatening Roars, which probably was the MVP of the side deck. But a champion card, which I might play in 3s now, is Nightbeam. Nightbeam to me is a very important card in this deck, especially when you side deck against the water deck and the mirror match, and even rabbits. If you Nightbeam a Macrocosmos, it just dies. You can't chain it. If you Nightbeam an Abyss Spear, you can't even activate it, and that cripples the water deck. I single-handedly beat water decks consistently, not by only bringing out 1 of the 2 Abyss Dwellers, but always having a Nightbeam available. Space to me is wearing thin to none, and I think all YCS decks will start main decking Nightbeam. Any other questions you have, please leave in the comments below. But I would like to give Kiko and Slim some time to ask a question too.
One question I had about your side deck: did you side? Trying to think of how to say this. When you were side decking, were you trying to cover as many decks as possible, or did you have 1 to 2 specific decks in mind that you really wanted to side for more than all the rogue matches?
Understandable. If you know Brotherhood, you know that the deck is like an anti-meta deck. All anti-meta decks covers most of the decks in the format. It's very hard to beat an anti-meta deck when it's set up. So my side deck covers the games and the decks that I cannot cover in the main deck, of course. For instance, Threaten the Raw to me, I'm going to start maining, but Threaten the Raw is usually used for the swarming decks that you can't really get over. Anti-meta deck was never good with defeating decks that swarm 1, 2, 3. So Threat and Roar did cover most of those ends that the deck does not cover. Rivalry of the Warlords, it's perfect. I don't know how different you can explain a card like that. It's just, all the deck does is bring out Beast Warriors.
Right.
The random Gozen match was really random, but it was for rogue decks that you was not prepared for. And you could also bring it against Swiners, but Gozen match was just a little better. Torrential was for the spam decks. Once again, its keyword is spam. The Fire Fist, to me, is not a good late game deck if you don't have usage of taking advantage primarily of the board. Torrential Tribute, Mirror Force, Mass Destruction as Dark Hole and things like that gives you that chance to take advantage of your opponent's lack of knowledge, I should say. You should not be spamming your board if you can't beat me. Because if you do that, you waste all your resources. And a deck like this, a Brotherhood deck, that all you need is a bear or a tanky to just explode, is very dangerous. I don't need you to attack me for game and lose. I need you to attempt to attack me so I can capitalize over that. Threaten the Roar, Mirror Force, Torrential Tribute. I saw some decks playing Swift Scarecrow yesterday, and I guarantee you that opponent was tight, because after that, he known that he was going to get locked down.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's see, anything else in the main deck? I remember originally you were running like multiple vanillas for for the Rescue Rabbits. And a lot of people were saying that Rabbit is like, you usually will have a dead rabbit like most of the time. What are your like thoughts on that? Do you feel that, because I understood from a lot of people that running like Gene Warped and running that made Tensu more live for when you drew the vanillas, and that a lot of the times if you would open the vanillas, your rabbits would be dead. Like, how did you ever run in that situation? How did you like capitalize on that?
I think playing the Genes and the Voice Raiders and the Ninken Dogs is good, but I think that we evolved to a stage where the Fire Fist deck does not need rabbit. There was a time where I drew 2 normals and a rabbit. I summoned the rabbit and my opponent Effect Village.
There you go. There you go.
So, but it's all a mind game, you know?
Right.
Like, there was also a time where I had 2 Genes in my hand. I top-decked the rabbit. There was also a time where I had 2 normals in my hand, and I potted duality. And I got the rabbit on purpose. Next turn, I summoned a rabbit to bait out the Silent Warning just so I could Monster Reborn.
Very good.
Like, if I don't think playing 2 rabbits is good, I would probably switch it to 1 or none at all. But Gene is needed.
That just shows that, you know, bad hands don't always make you lose the game. You got to play with your opponent, so you always got a chance.
Yes.
What is the one card, and this I think will be probably the last question, I don't think we have any more. What's, if you had to change one card in the main deck and you said don't run it, you're going to change it, what would it have been? Do 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 do. Really? Heavy Storm.
This might be a shocker to all you, but I've been playing this game for a very long time. I'm not the best player, of course, but I have been through all the formats. Heavy Storm, to me, poisons the format. One of my friends back home named RJ did a video for me for my channel, and it will be uploaded on Tuesday, how he talks about how Heavy Storm should get banned. Heavy Storm does not do nothing for you but allow you to play stupid. There was times where I drew Heavy Storm multiple times and I was not able to use it because my back row was so heavy. Most people might say that you shouldn't play Heavy Storm in a heavy back row deck, but I was being a player of age, as I call it, and told myself that it's a staple. I think we passed the phase where Heavy Storm is a staple. We now have decks that do what Heavy Storm does. We now have cards that people have forgotten. I saw someone bait doll a Solemn Warning right next to me and force their opponent to pay 2,000 life points. Wow. You know, we have 3 Mystical Space Typhoons. We have 3 Night Beams. We have 3 Noblemen of Exterminations. We have Malevolent Catastrophe. We have Bears now. We have Marksmen. We have all these cards that does what Heavy Storm long did for us. Why should we attempt to trigger Starlight Road? You already know. If it's not pro, we got to go. Deuces.